Blood moon rising. The night was thick with a heavy fog, wrapping around Stormfront Castle like a suffocating shroud. The castle loomed ominously against the backdrop of a blood-red moon, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. A figure stood on the balcony, silhouetted against the crimson light, her long black hair streaked with crimson red and black highlights swirling wildly in the wind. Piercing blue eyes gleamed with a manic intensity, reflecting the madness that churned within. "Welcome to my playground, motherfuckers. You thought you were safe? Ha! Tonight the blood moon rises, and with it the games begin." As the figure stepped back inside, the air crackled with electric tension. The castle was alive with echoes of past horrors, the walls whispering secrets of the damned. A primal thrill coursed through her veins, quickening her pulse. She had a score to settle, and the night was young. With a flick of her wrist, she grabbed a sleek, gleaming knife from the table, its blade reflecting the dim light like a wicked smile. She inspected her reflection in the steel, the excitement of the hunt igniting her senses. "Let's see how many fuckers I can take down tonight. I've got a thirst for blood, and trust me, it won't be quenched until I've carved my name into this night." With a twisted grin, she moved into the dark corridors of the castle. Ancient stone walls loomed around her, shadows lurking in the corners like trapped souls. She thrived in this atmosphere of dread, each heartbeat echoing like a war drum in her ears. Moving like a predator, she was attuned to every sound, every breath in the suffocating darkness. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the hall. She spun around, her knife poised and ready. A group of masked intruders burst into the castle, eyes glinting with malice and greed. The leader, a burly man named Marcus, stepped forward, confidence oozing arrogance. "Look what we found, boys, a little lost kitten in a big, scary castle." "Kitten? You've got to be fucking kidding me. I'll show you what a real beast looks like." In an instant, she lunged forward, her knife slicing through the air with deadly precision. The first intruder, Derek, barely had time to react as she plunged the blade deep into his gut, twisting it cruelly as he gasped in shock. "Didn't expect that, did you? Welcome to my nightmare, asshole." With a savage twist, she pulled the knife out, watching with twisted satisfaction as he crumpled to the ground, blood pooling around him like a macabre halo. The other intruders stared in horror, realizing they were in the presence of a true predator. Panic rippled through the group, their bravado evaporating in an instant. "Run! She's a fucking maniac!" shouted Vinny, one of the remaining intruders. But she was already on them, a whirlwind of violence and chaos. She danced through the fray, her laughter echoing like a haunting melody as she carved her way through the group, each cut more brutal than the last. The blood moon illuminated the scene, casting an ominous glow over the carnage. "Is this all you've got? I'm just getting started. Come on, give me a fucking challenge." She ducked under a wild swing from Jared, another intruder, and retaliated with a swift kick to his knee, sending him crashing to the ground. Without hesitation, she plunged her knife into his throat, the blade slicing through flesh with sickening ease. The metallic scent of blood filled the air, intoxicating and overwhelming. The remaining intruders, frantic and desperate, scrambled to regroup. Fear flashed across their faces as they realized they were outmatched. One of them, Tony, tried to flee, but she grabbed him by the collar and yanked him back, throwing him against the wall. "Please, don't kill me," he begged, desperation dripping from his voice. "Too late for that, sweetheart. You came into my home uninvited, and now you get to pay the price. Say hello to the devil for me." With a final, merciless thrust, she ended his pleas, a satisfied smile spreading across her lips as his body slumped lifelessly against the wall. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by her heavy breathing and the distant howl of the wind outside. Surveying the carnage around her, she took a moment to revel in the aftermath. Blood sprayed across the walls, pooling on the floor, creating a grotesque tapestry of violence. The stench of iron hung thick in the air, mixing with the sense of fear and death, intoxicating and exhilarating. She felt alive, each drop of blood igniting a fire within her that demanded more. She was a goddess of carnage, and this was her realm. Now that's what I call a bloody good time. Next round, I think I'll invite some friends. After all, what's a party without a little chaos? With a flourish, she wiped her knife clean on Derek's shirt, admiring the glimmering blade before returning it to her side. The blood moon hung low in the sky, illuminating her path as she stepped over the bodies, ready to embrace the darkness that awaited her. As she made her way to the castle's inner chamber, the air grew thick with anticipation. There, her latest project awaited, an ancient ritual to unleash even more chaos upon the world. The castle had a pulse, thrumming with the energy of past horrors, the very walls eager to join her dance of death. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows as she approached an altar adorned with relics of the damned. Bones, rusted weapons, and candles formed from animal fat. Outside, the wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, eager to witness the mayhem to come. "Let's raise some hell tonight, shall we?" she murmured, a wicked grin curling her lips. With a deep breath, she began her incantation, the words flowing from her lips like honey laced with poison. The very walls shuddered in response, and the air crackled with dark energy. The blood moon seemed to pulse with her every word, illuminating the room with an ominous glow. Suddenly, the ground beneath her feet began to tremble, and the candles flickered violently. A swirling darkness coalesced before her, twisting and writhing like a living entity. The spirits of those she had wronged surged forth, howling in anguish, eager for revenge. One spirit, a man with hollow eyes and a gaping mouth, reached out towards her. "You think you can control us? We are the vengeance of the night." She laughed, her voice echoing with confidence. "Control you? I don't need to control you. I just need you to join me in this beautiful madness." The spirits paused, uncertainty flickering in their ethereal forms. The room grew tense, the air thick with a mix of fear and excitement. She reached out, her hand brushing against the nearest spirit, feeling the chill of its presence. "Together we'll create a symphony of chaos. Let's paint this night red with blood," she declared, her voice ringing with authority. As the spirits began to swirl around her, she felt a rush of power coursing through her veins. The castle trembled in anticipation, and the moon outside seemed to shine brighter, bathing everything in an eerie glow. This was only the beginning. Tonight she would unleash a storm of violence that would echo through the ages. The darkness within her roared to life, and she reveled in the chaos that awaited. With the spirits at her command, she was ready to plunge the world into madness. The blood moon hung low in the sky, a witness to the horrors about to unfold, and she was prepared to embrace it all. The night was far from over, and the real game had only just begun. With each pulse of the moon, she felt her power grow, her desires morphing into an insatiable hunger for destruction. In this castle, under the blood moon, she was both the hunter and the hunted, and she wouldn't stop until the world was drenched in her brand of chaos.